I am BA from the Wheels in the Sky Group, and welcome to Astronomy for Gann Traders, Series 1, Part 5, called Degrees. I'm going to have to run through this a little bit fast due to time. George Bayer was a contemporary of W.D. Ganns. George Bayer made accurate forecasts like Gann. We have all of George Bayer's writings free to our members at wheelsinthesky.com. Okay, and in a book that George Bayer wrote about stocks having, or in commodities having sensitive degrees, okay, meaning that when a planet hits that degree, you get a trend change. And in this series, it's time I give you something that you can sink your teeth into. As far as timing, this will kick it off. Okay, this is basic, but it's a beginning. What's important is that from a degree standpoint, you have to create a 15-degree axis. Okay, it's very simple. The 15-degree axis starts from a sensitive point. For Apple stock, this is 25 Scorpio. We keep adding 15 degrees to this to get the stock's sensitive points. Okay, 25 Scorpio plus 10 is 10 Sagittarius, plus 10 is 25 Sagittarius, 10 Capricorn. All we're doing here is adding 15 degrees, and you can see it all the way through here. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, and we return to 25 Scorpio. Meaning when a planet, a fast-moving planet in this case, in this demonstration, hits one of these points, we should expect a turn. Okay? Here we have Apple stock, and we're going to take a look at it and get some turns. We want to avoid turns around weekends. Okay, write this down. October 14th, 2008. Okay? Weekend. October 30, 2008. November 21, 2008. December 9, 2008. Weekend. Weekend turn there. Here's a good one. February 6, 2009. Okay. February 13th, 2009. June 5th, 2009. June 23rd, 2009. July 1, 2009. Oh, wait a minute. Let me get that on your screen. July 1, 2009. July 8, 2009. Now we have these terms. We're going to write them down. Then we're going to take a look at the ephemeris and see what's happening. This is our ephemeris up here. Our first date was October 14th, 2008. That was our first turn date. Here we have Venus at 25 Scorpio. Okay, Venus at 25 Scorpio, just like what we predicted. October 30th, which is here. In this column, we have nothing at 10 or 25 degrees. That's a scratch. We'll write it down as a scratch and come back to it. November 21st is down here. And we find that Venus is at 10 Capricorn. Okay? Let me get this up. December 9th is our next date. Right here, December 9, we find Mercury is at 25 Sagittarius. Okay? Our next date is May 6th. May 6th, 2009. Here we have Mars at 10 Aries. Okay? Our next date is May 13th, 2009. Here we have Venus just getting at 9 Aries 46. It would hit 10 degrees later in the evening. So that's fine. That counts. June 5th, 2009. Nothing here. This is close, but it doesn't count because it actually hits it 2 days away. Nothing here, so let's scratch. We'll come back to it. Okay. June 23rd, 2009. And there's nothing there. That's a scratch. July 1, 2009. Here we have the Sun at 10 Cancer. Okay. July 8th, 2009, which is not here. Just there, got it on the screen. Like I said, July 8th, 2009. Here we see down here that Mercury is at 10 Cancer. Let's go back and take a look at some of these that didn't hit, and let's see if we can figure out why. Okay, our first is October 30th, 2008. That was a scratch. Okay, here we are at October 30th, 2008. Look at this action. Is the high here, October 30th, or is it here? And there's a weekend in here, 11:04. Okay, let's go back to the ephemeris and see when we actually took the hit. We'll be in this area here. We had October 30th, and there was November 4. Okay, as you can see, November 2nd, 2008, the sun hits 10 Scorpio. November 2nd, 2008, the sun hits 10 Scorpio. Seeing the second is a weekend. How do we know that where exactly the high was in here? We can't. We assume that tripped it, but we can't use it because there's a weekend in here. We got two highs on either side of it. Okay? I mean, what was the price action on the weekend? No one knows. Okay? Our next one is June 5th, 2009. We want to go back. This was a miss. We want to take a look at it. June 5th, 2009. The next trading day was June 8th, 2009. So you got the weekend in there. Remember, I told you to avoid turns at around weekends. But let's go ahead and take a look at this. Okay, June 5th, the market closed that evening, and it didn't open until June 6th. Okay, here we are at the ephemeris. The market closed June 5th, didn't open until June 8th. Look at that. On June 7th, 2009, Mercury hits 25 Taurus. Okay, so as you can see, these axis points will consistently time turns. You have to find them in your stock or commodity. Okay, George Baer wrote about these points, and there's ways to hunt them down. You know, if you want to learn that type of information, come visit us at wheelsinthesky.com or our Yahoo site, Wheels in the Sky, all one word. Okay, so all we did here was take we located a sensitive point for this stock, which is 25 Scorpio. We took and made a 15-degree axis off of it, basically saying that any time a planet hits or turns will be produced at 10 degrees and 25 degrees of each sign. Now, sometimes you'll have it to where these planets will hit a point, one of these sensitive points, and you don't get a turn. The reason for that is there's no cycle due. A cycle has to be due with these sensitive points. Okay, not every time one of these points get hit is there a turn, but when a cycle is due, these points will be active at the turns. Okay, and like you know, this is for most of you, I'm sure, that are new to this. This is pretty advanced stuff. You know, it's hard to get your mind around it. What I would suggest doing, and I've trained people for almost a dozen years. Okay, what you need to do to get your mind around this is to replay this and replay it and replay it. Okay, replay the video. That and more key components will you'll understand as time goes on. One of the things you can do is put it down for a few days, come back to it. That technique helps in learning this information. Okay, and like I said, you know, if you want to know more, because there's more to this method than when I showed. There's larger turns that are timed by larger planets and so on and so forth. My goal is to just show you, hey, there's something here. This is basic. It's relatively simple to understand. Okay, and you know, the goal of the market analyst is to time turns. Again, I'm BA from Wheels in the Sky, and we'll see you there.